Hey everybody, it is Melissa, and I'm so freaking excited to be able to do this live stream because I think that there are so many of you guys who are struggling with fatigue, and I really want to be able to help you out with that. And I know that sometimes we have to give a break from drinking coffee every single day. I am a coffee lover. I do drink it. I just noticed that if I am drinking it every single day, then it's something that tends to impact my adrenals quite a bit. So I want to just make sure that we are live and kicking here on my YouTube platform. So you're probably going to hear me twice, potentially, as I get set up here. I am also going to be sharing with you guys. Perfect. We are live. Awesome. Okay, I'm just going to make sure that I do this. Sweet. All right, so for those of you guys who are watching in live, do me a favor, make sure that you just comment in the comments below to let me know that you're here, where you're actually listening in from. Do you struggle with fatigue? If so, this is going to be the live stream for you because I'm going to be sharing with you the differences between various mushroom blends. So you might be like, what's the difference between chaga? What is the difference with, how about cacao? Some people have asked about the caffeine in that. And how about if I drink maca and is it going to affect my hormones? So we're going to be talking about a lot of these natural energy boosters, and we're also going to be talking about the reasons why you might want to give coffee a break, and how it impacts the nervous system, the adrenals, fibroids, ovarian cysts, all those things, because it truly does. So I just want to be able to share that with you guys as well. All right, so guys, we are going to kick things off first and foremost to talk about coffee. Now, this is the big one because last week I aired a video all about coffee. Is it bad for women? Is it good for women? I didn't just talk about the bad about coffee, just a side note, because there are great things. The thing about coffee that can really wreak havoc on individuals is the caffeine in it. Now, this may end up, having you ask the question of, well, then can I have decaf? Is that a better option? So one of the things I will share with you, it is the caffeine in it, but if you are going to get decaf, be careful of the type of decaf you get. You want to get water, or you want to get, at least be very careful, because various brands use a chemical substance called methylene chloride to decaffeinate coffee. So you want to look at a carbon dioxide extraction method. Is also Swiss water, as my husband is saying in the background, is also really great. And hello to people tuning in. So Julia, I'm here but not all there, says Julia.
Welcome to it.
Welcome to it, says my husband. So you want to be careful with that. So is that a potential option to have decaf? It may be better, but remember that coffee also does definitely deplete still a lot of vital nutrients from the system, because it can act as a diuretic. It can certainly remove a lot of our healthy bacterial flora. So I always say moderation is everything. I did actually list out brands of coffee that I would trust. So just make sure that you check out that video when you get a second about that. Now, the other thing I want to be able to point out before we get into this live stream are the reasons why you might be struggling with fatigue. One of the reasons, and understand that fatigue, it ain't nothing but a symptom. So I want to stress that to you guys, because I think a lot of you guys are like, what supplement can I take? What food can I have? But it is nothing but a symptom. So very common reasons why women are struggling with fatigue, let's go through some of the basics, is you're not getting enough sleep. I know that sounds basic, but how many of you guys, honestly, who are listening in live can really say that you're getting enough sleep, that you are not staying up to all hours of the night, that you are not glued to your devices right until you go to bed, like you're clutching it, when you go to bed, just like this? Are you doing that? Because if you are, stop doing that. This is a huge thing, because I find that moms, especially, by the time that they're done everything that they have to do, that they figure that this is their only me time. But staying up super late is robbing you of this me time. So ladies, heads up, please be careful. This is a really basic thing, but you can't expect to have energy if you're staying up at all hours of the night. Period. So that's definitely one thing. Hello, New York, need coffee. I love coffee too, but I do find that it can impact the adrenals and the nervous system even with 1 cup of coffee. And how many of you guys here are daily 1 cuppers? But it's only 1 cup of coffee per day. This is generally what I hear from women. But if you're somebody who finds themselves really wrestling with like nervous system issues, so do you get startled easily? So someone's putting dishes away maybe, and you're like, oh, do you have to be so loud? That hurts my ears. Those are nervous system responses, that your nervous system is a little fried, and you got to be a bit careful. You can actually find out how I drink coffee. I know that sounds weird, where it doesn't give me the gut rot response. It doesn't fry my nervous system the way that it used to. If you check out the video that I did just previous to this live stream, so last week, the most recent one, other than this one. So today we're going to be talking about various different ways that you can incorporate and get more energy. Now, I do want to be able to flag to you guys who are watching in live, and sorry, you're going to see like the side of my head right now as I just grabbed this. I developed an entire adrenal fatigue repair kit guide, which, no joke, if you follow these instructions, will definitely help you get some level of energy back within 7 days. Okay? So if you guys want this, it's absolutely free. I'm going to put that into the chat. And I also want to let you guys know who are listening in live, if you look at the chat, there is underneath where you write a comment, there's like a little $ there. So for those of you guys who want to support all of the free content that I push out to you guys, which of course is not free for me to produce, that would be super appreciated, even if the donation is like $1, $5. It is called a super chat. It's a great function on YouTube for content creators like myself. It's obviously no pressure, but if you guys want to be able to add a little donation to this live stream, that would be greatly appreciated. All funds go towards editing for future videos so that I can continually pump out amazing content for you guys. Okay, so what are we going to be whipping up today? So I am going to be whipping up my favorite hot chocolate recipe, but I also want to share with you guys different ways that you can actually do this. I already have people saying 1 cup, yes. You guys know, you know who you are. All right, so I'm going to be doing a little revision on my favorite hot chocolate recipe, okay? And I actually call it my hot chocolate mud. And I say this because it kind of looks like mud. I know that doesn't sound too appealing, but it's got a little bit of caffeine in it, and it's not just from the chocolate, but this is really great and energizing. I'm going to give you a version so you can have it for the afternoon. And I'm also going to go through 2 different types of medicinal mushrooms, not the magic kind, that will actually help you, especially if you've got an autoimmune condition, if you've got a thyroid condition, if you've got adrenal fatigue. Hello, that's the majority of people watching. And also, one of the mushrooms, believe it or not, helps to protect against radiation. So if you've gotten any scans, anything like that, really, really helpful as well. Just off coffee, I go through phases, says Ashley Murray. Drank water with sea salt, 104 ounces consumed. Lots of herbal teas got me through it. Had a headache a day and a half, and that was the end of the withdrawal. Congratulations, that's amazing. Remember, guys, one of the things that I want to share with you, especially for those of you guys who are coffee drinkers, please make sure that you're adding salt to your water. I say this because coffee actually depletes salt, high quality sodium that we actually require for our adrenals to function. So for every liter of water I drink, I end up adding in a little pinch of sea salt. Okay, this is actually super important for your adrenals. And also, you want to make sure that you're having some level of magnesium. I wasn't going to go into supplement talk here, but having a little bit of magnesium is really helpful because magnesium is the adrenal-loving mineral. It helps us with detoxification. It helps us to poop. And one of my favorite ones is magnesium malate or magnesium glycinate. Magnesium citrate is a great magnesium, but the problem is that people tend to go to loose stools a little bit faster because it has that affinity on the bowel. So it's great if you're traveling, and well, a lot of people are not doing right now. But if you are and you end up getting like constipated during travel, magnesium citrate is a better option. Okay, so what are the ingredients and what I'm making? So number 1, I am having, and I'm just grabbing this out here, obviously some cacao powder, cacao, however you want to say it. This is ingredient number 1. Ingredient number 2 is matcha. If you guys have seen my videos before, you guys know that I love matcha. We're going to talk about the benefits of having this. And I'm also going to be adding in maca. Now, I have zero affiliation to Organica. I have zero affiliation to this matcha green tea. I'll be talking about the different brands, etc., if you guys are curious about it. But maca is also great for energizing as well. We've also got cayenne, because this is also going to help to increase circulation in the blood. We've got a sweetener of my choice is stevia. If you hate stevia, you can use honey. You can use a little bit of maple syrup. You can use a bit of coconut sugar. That's also fine. I prefer stevia. And the other thing we're going to be adding in is butter. Now, you want to always make sure that you go for organic because toxins tend to store in fat tissues of animals. So anytime that you're having fats, you want to make sure that they're definitely going to be organic. Okay? Need that rad mushrooms. Never want to see a PET or CT scan again. I feel ya. I've had literally 3 of them in my life, which is a lot given I'm only 42. Okay, so, and of course, hot water. All right, so the first thing that we are going to do, and you guys can see me here, awesome. We are going to begin with just adding in a tablespoon of cacao powder. So cacao powder, I actually like to add probably 2 tablespoons of it because I like mine super chocolatey. Now, cacao powder has something called theobromine in it, which is on its own very energizing. It's got a little bit of this energizing boost, but the little teeny tiny bits of caffeine in it are not going to be as stimulating as, say, coffee would. Okay? So that's something I want to share with you guys. But this is actually a drink that I also have a little revised in the afternoon at 2 p.m. and it does work. Okay, now if you're somebody who has to go to a job, you can pre-make this, put this into a container like a thermos of some sort, a travel to go cup, keep it nice and hot, and it'll actually travel quite well. Okay, the next thing I add is maca. Now, maca is probably one of my favorites in terms of energy. This is something that I use a lot, especially for women who are perimenopausal, who are menopausal. It's an adaptogen. In other words, it helps us to adapt to stress. Okay? Now, maca is not matcha. Maca comes from a root, a Peruvian root, and what it grows in a place where very few things survive. And it does give us a way to be able to adapt to stress. But this especially in particular is amazing because if you're a woman who's over the age of 35, and if you are, do me a favor right now, comment below in the live chat and just let me know, are you a woman over the age of 35? Because if you are, naturally as you get older, your progesterone levels begin to reduce. And progesterone is the hormone that makes us feel good and nourished. And the one thing I want to be able to share with you is that our ability to handle stress starts to kind of wane. It starts to decrease a bit. So if you have been Little Miss Stressy Pants leading up to this point, and you're still trying to do the same shit you've done leading up to this point, there will be a very sad reality for you because you will find that your stress levels are going to be that much greater because your ability to handle them decreases substantially as you get older. So you have to make changes in your life on how you're showing up, how much sleep you're getting. We require 20 minutes more of sleep than our male counterparts, ladies. So stop staying up with your husband to watch TV, for example. If you want to use monk fruit, somebody asked in the questions, you absolutely can do that. So for the maca, I generally add a rounded tablespoon. Okay, do you guys see that? Okay, rounded tablespoon. And I'm going to add that into here. I usually start slow, and if you've never had maca before, you can even start as low as 1 teaspoon. Okay, again, this is something that helps you to adapt to stress. It does give you energy. So if you're somebody who has adrenal fatigue, nervous system issues, especially in that perimenopausal window, as your ovaries start to just lose their function, the adrenals now have more work to do. So this is one of the reasons why your ability to handle stress begins to diminish, okay? Because there's more weight for them to bear. And this is the reason why sometimes giving coffee a break, even for a month, for 30 days, which is what we do in Sexy Lady Balls, my hormone membership program, is important. And so Tina says, yep, 45 on 200 progesterone nightly. Rosemary says she's 37. So even if you're on progesterone, this is still not going to thwart the lifestyle factors, the lifestyle changes that are required in this phase of your life. You can eat all the consume all the supplements you want, eat all the good food, healthy foods you want. But if you're not making the substantial life changes, none of it's going to work. You can't out-supplement a shitty lifestyle. Period, guys. Okay, so we have that in here. And my version, if I was just going to do this in the afternoon, I actually would just use these two blends. But in the morning, I like to add in something a little bit different, okay? And that is adding in a little bit of matcha. Now, you want to be able to use about a half a teaspoon. Okay, so just, that's roughly half a teaspoon. We're just going to go with that. Okay? I'm going to add that in. This is where it kind of gives that muddy kind of look to it, which is not super attractive, but it'll do the trick. Okay? I like to add in a little bit of cayenne. If you are somebody who struggles with a lot of joint pain, be careful, because sometimes cayenne, being that it's a nightshade, can certainly aggravate certain people. For me, I don't have any problems with it. Another reason why I like to use cayenne is because it increases circulation. It also acts as a thermogenic, which really can help with weight loss as well. So that is something that I love to be able to add. So I'm actually going to put 2 scoops, ba-bam, in there. All right, so I have that in there. Now, the next thing that I want to share with you guys, which I really, really did, is my chaga. Now, I'm adding in this chaga. This is actually one of my favorites, is this one here from Peak. Okay, it's called Chaga Energy Elixir. Can you guys see that? Yeah, okay, perfect. I love this blend, and I will give you guys the link for this in case you guys want to grab this. I really, really, really dig this blend quite a bit. And this is like a massive powerhouse blend. So this one's their Chaga Energy Elixir. They do a ton of testing on all of their blends. All of their blends. I normally actually drink their matcha because it's quadruple tested for like radiation issues, heavy metals, etc., etc. So it's really, really great. So chaga also is extremely energizing. But you may have actually heard that this is really helpful for your immune system, and that would be correct. The cool thing about this that I like, it has this blend, the Chaga Energy Elixir, has not only chaga, but it has burdock. So burdock is one of my favorite roots because burdock has an affinity for the liver. Okay? Ladies, as you get older, your liver, I can guarantee you, begins to get overburdened. There's just so much that it has to process. It has over 560 functions. And it also has North American ginseng, which gives you a little bit of an energetic boost. So, I super dig it. Okay? So, let's just see. All right, guys. Just grabbing this out. Making sure. As, of course, my little camera, but we're still rocking and rolling. It just went to my other camera here. Let's see. Hopefully that will power back up. All right, so there we go. All right, sorry guys, give me 2 seconds here. There we go, much better. I don't know why that powered off. Anyways, point is, chaga, energy elixir, okay? And I'm putting 1 pack into that mixture. I've got some hot water that I'm boiling in here. The butter that I'm putting in here is about a tablespoon's worth of butter. I put a good, probably when it's melted, it's going to be like 2 tablespoons, but I put a good decent amount of this. Okay. And I'm putting that into there. Now you get in your sweetener of choice. I'm putting in some stevia. I do not measure it because I've just used it so many times. I know how it works. So, and that's what I'm putting in there. And of course, last but not least, I put in salt. A, salt helps to bring out the sweet, but B, vital nutrients. Okay? Super duper important. All right. So, the water is heating up right now. I'm going to make sure that I have what I need here. Honey, are you on the live stream? The Sun Network?
LTV, my own.
Okay. It's going to eat up our data, though.
Oh,
it's
same thing?
a joint thing, yeah. So
Okay.
we need to get off that.
Yep.
Okay, so I'm going to get my favorite mug. Cute, huh? Well, you have a link to that. A link to which? So if you're looking for a link to the Peak stuff, I posted it in the chat above. If you are looking for a link to the Energizing, the Adrenal Fatigue Repair Kit, I've also put a link to that. So make sure you guys grab that if you have not. And the other thing I want to let you guys know that's really, really important is if you guys want to get to the bottom of why you have fatigue to begin with, then you also want to make sure that you understand a little bit of the causative factors behind that, which we're going to go through once I'm done making this, okay? So, I'm going to get my favorite mug. Actually, I'll put this in a bigger mug because I like this so much. Okay, guys, and that's it. Just water. A lot of you guys might wonder about, can I add in almond milk to this? You can. I generally add in water, and the reason why I do, if you are drinking these hot elixirs every single day, it gets really expensive using almond milk, oat milk, etc. I just use water because of the butter. It gets so creamy. I honestly can't really tell the difference. Okay? So now we're just going to mix this up. Now, if you guys are like, there's way too many complicated ingredients in here, and this is really not for me, I get it. You literally can just stick to cacao, butter that we used, a sweetener, and salt, and hot water. You can make it that simple. If you just want to use the matcha and not the cacao, you can do that as well. So keep it simple. You don't have to use all the, ingredients that I use, but I want to show you guys how you could really super boost your energy with this natural energy drink that I make for myself. Okay? So I'm going to grab my cup, my bigger cup. Yeah, that's perfect. And I love it. And then it fits my cup. So you guys are going to see. Sorry guys, my little thing keeps crapping out. Here we go. All right, so we are still rocking and rolling here. Okay. There we go. All right, so there is my drink. It's super freaking delicious. So I want to share with you guys. We post the recipe for the drink. I'll post it actually in the description of this video when we're done the live, for sure. In case some of you guys want the recipe, can totally do that. So we talked a little bit about this. I want to share with you guys one more mushroom that is a huge staple in my world. As you guys know, I have an autoimmune condition. And a major mushroom that I love is reishi, which is another one I get from Peak. But obviously you can get reishi from Four Sigmatic. A lot of other companies have it, but this is the one that I get. It's called Reishi Calm Elixir. This stuff is amazing. And the reason why I love reishi is because it really helps to thwart radiation that you get if you were to do a CAT scan, CT scan, etc., MRIs. It's also really great if you're struggling with mycotoxicity, which is the toxins produced from mold. Reishi mushroom's amazing. Reishi mushroom also is an adaptogen. It helps you to adapt to stress. So, for example, if chaga was the king of all mushrooms, reishi would be the queen. Reishi also helps you to modulate the immune system. Okay, so if you are somebody like me who has an autoimmune condition, it doesn't actually help to stimulate the immune system, which may not be the best thing if you have an autoimmune condition, because with an autoimmune condition, sometimes, and I don't know who here, any of you guys have an autoimmune condition? Anybody here? Sometimes it feels like I'm about to get sick, but I don't get sick. So sometimes my immune system's super run down, or it'll be, I can tell it's working overtime. So what you want to do is you want to modulate the immune system. And so reishi helps to balance, which is what I mean by modulating. It helps to modulate the immune system like a seesaw. Like, so you actually are balancing it, okay? Reishi mushroom has a bit of a calming effect, though. So I want to, as this thing keeps shutting off, guys, sorry about that. I want to be able to share with you guys the reason why that I like reishi in terms of the evening is because it's very, very, very calming, okay? So that's something I just want to be able to share with you guys so you guys have an understanding. And I apologize, I keep going out of screen. Just setting up a new camera here. Okay, so that, as we go back and forth with that. All right, so KB says, can you make a larger batch and reheat on the stove? You certainly can, absolutely. It doesn't take long to make, so I generally just like to make it fresh. A lot of people say, well, what do I do if I'm going to work? Just make it, put it into a thermos, and take it to work. It really is that simple. That's what I would do, personally speaking. So that's the way that I would do it. Now, if you're somebody who's struggling with energy, one of the first places that I always look is the gut. If you're struggling with energy outside of the lifestyle stuff, so is this person sleeping? Are they eating, healthy food? Or are they eating lots of processed foods, lots of sugar, lots of carbs? When people say to me, Melissa, I'm struggling with my energy levels, I can't stop myself from eating carbs, you don't have a food problem, you have a lifestyle problem. Or you may actually have some gut infections. Gut infections are extremely common, guys. They're extremely common in the entire adrenal fatigue picture because gut pathogens like parasitic, bacterial, absolutely can raise your cortisol, and cortisol is the hormone released in response to stress. Okay? So if your cortisol is raising because you have a gut infection, your body's going, hey, that's a form of stress. You have to address that. These are one of the things that we look at in my hormone membership program. So Kathy here says she has lupus. So we always have to look at the gut. And this is even if you have an autoimmune condition that is acquired, like mine, Hashimoto's, which is an acquired autoimmune thyroid condition. Or oftentimes when a woman or man has an autoimmune condition that they're born with, we still have to investigate the gut. It is so freaking crucial, guys. And this is one of the things that we do in my hormone membership program, Sexy Lady Balls. I'm just going to end up putting the link below here so that you guys have it. Okay. And I'm going to throw that here. And so in Sexy Lady Balls, one of the things that we do, that we offer as an option to upgrade, is stool testing. And a lot of women will say, well, can't I just go to my doctor and get stool testing done? No, because they don't run the same, methodology matters. The same testing is not run by generally GPs, okay? It's not. I've yet to find a GP that runs the same stool test. And not all testing is the same. So I want to be able to share that with you guys, okay? I want to make sure this is on. Here we go. Not all stool testing is created equally. I can guarantee you guys that, okay? Just going to do this. There we go. So we can, awesome. Not all stool testing is created equally, number one. Number two, the second question I get is, can I just go to the health food store and get myself a parasite cleanse? Well, which parasite do you have? And are those herbs indicated for that parasite to kill that parasite? So there has to be a system and a process in place and a protocol that is designed specifically for you. And we have to test which parasite is there. I see parasitic infection in 90% of the women I work with. If you have adrenal fatigue, thyroid issues, autoimmune conditions, estrogen dominant issues like PCOS, endometriosis, adenomyosis, all these conditions, ladies, have some level of gut infection present. And if you haven't identified that, you are going to continually be chasing symptoms, okay? So this is something that I hear from women all the time is, Melissa, what supplement can I take for my hair loss? Melissa, what supplement can I take for my energy levels? What supplement can I take for my fibroids to shrink my thyroid nodules? For my PCOS? These are all symptoms. The fatigue is also a symptom. What's causing that? Another thing you may want to look into, and this is a very cheap and cheerful test that you guys can do, but it's extremely preliminary. So I also want to be able to share that with you. You can go to survivingmold.com, and they have a test which is under $20. It's called VCS, so Victor, Kathy, Sam, VCS. And that's a very, very preliminary. Just going to make sure I grab this. My camera keeps shutting down. It's a very, very preliminary mold test that they use that you can find out, because if there is mold toxicity, guess what? That could be impacting your energy levels. In fact, mold is what we call lipophilic, meaning mold loves to be able to hide out, mold toxicity loves to hide out in fat. So a lot of women who are also struggling with mold toxicity have energy in the shitter, and their weight is also a problem, okay? But it's the same thing with gut issues. If you're struggling with weight, if you're struggling with low energy, why are you struggling with that? If you don't identify the why behind it, you're always going to struggle with it, even despite these natural energy boosting drinks. So I also want to be able to share that with you guys. Can you explain Clostridium bacterial markers? So Clostridium is a bacteria in the gut. And absolutely, if you have high levels of it, you have to think of it as you're going to have a level of gut dysbiosis, which is where there's going to be an issue in the gut. So I don't know exactly what you want me to explain with this gut marker, but it's one of the many that we evaluate. We look for parasites. The three big bad ones are Giardia, Cryptosporidium, Entamoeba histolica. We look for worms. We look for all kinds of different bacterial and also autoimmune triggers in stool testing, which are the things that we actually evaluate. So, ladies, if you are somebody who has struggled greatly with your energy levels, one of the things that I want to be able to share with you guys, put that back on again, as my camera keeps crapping out on me. One of the things that I want to share with you guys is you can absolutely have a drink like this, minus the matcha, at 2 p.m. if you get that crash. Another reason why women also get that crash, which is it's normal to have your cortisol levels dip a little bit. That's totally normal. But if you're crashing so hard that you feel like you want a nap during that time, check to see what you're eating, because if your blood sugar is completely irregulated, meaning you're eating very high carb, you're not eating enough protein, you're not eating enough fat, ladies, you need 90 grams of protein per day. So how many of you guys have actually tracked this? If you're not tracking how much protein you're getting, you require protein. Your muscles require it. It's the organ of longevity is your muscles. And if you don't have enough protein, you don't have enough fat, your blood sugar is going to be irregulated. You're going to feel hangry more often. Okay? And you are probably going to get that crash. And then you're going to get tired. Okay? And that's what we're talking about in this call is fatigue. It's a huge one. So this drink is amazing to give you a little bit of a natural pep that I want to share with you guys. I have put the links below. If you guys are interested in being able to join us in Sexy Lady Balls, you have the option to upgrade to get stool testing. And when you do, that includes your consult with a practitioner. It includes all the shipment fees. It includes a protocol that you would have there afterwards, some one-on-one time, obviously, with a practitioner. And also, I want to be able to share with you guys that in Sexy Lady Balls, the great thing, the wonderful thing, as I boot up my camera yet again, the wonderful thing about having a membership like that where you actually get access and support, come on, camera, is that you get help and motivation and support in our membership, which is the entire reason why I developed it to begin with. Okay, guys, if you guys have any questions regarding the drink that I made, let me know, because I have it here. And if you guys want to make sure that you get some additional tools that are absolutely free, if you don't feel like joining us in SLB, which is Sexy Lady Balls, again, I have posted that free adrenal fatigue repair kit in the comments above, so make sure that you grab that. It's absolutely free. It will help you get your energy back in literally as little as 7 days, so I would highly, highly, highly suggest to get that. And I've included all the directions in terms of where to get some of the products that I mentioned. But I will make sure that once this live stream is done, I'm going to put the exact recipe below in the description of this video so that you guys also have that as well. All right, guys, that is pretty much it. This is a easy, breezy, simple live stream to be able to share with you guys the awesome drink that I put together. And I hope you guys are able to try this. And if you have further questions about your energy and what to do and testing and your stool and mold toxicity and all the things that can contribute to low energy, do me a favor, feel free to leave a comment under this video. Let me know. I'm here to be able to support you guys as much as humanly possible. And stay tuned and make sure to subscribe to this channel. I should say, drop new episodes every single week. Next week's video is going to be all about iron deficiency anemia. So you're going to want to make sure that you are subscribed to this channel. There's also a little bell button at the top right-hand corner of this video where you can get notified every single time a new video launches. All right, guys, let's see. All right, guys, that is it. I hope that you dug this video and all the gems that I have shared with you guys. If you have any questions, comment below and let me know. And stay tuned because a new episode is set to launch soon. All right, guys, take care, and we'll chat soon. Bye.